Welcome back to the Well Regulated Podcast. This is episode 11. How's everybody doing? It's just me today, so make sure you leave a thumbs up and let's just get right into it. So, last week we had some stories about a judge here in New Mexico that was he resigned because he was harboring essentially illegal criminal aliens. He was also furnishing them with firearms. So you guys know I like to go with local sources. So these are the three local sources here in New Mexico or in my area. So this first one here is from KOAT Action News 7. Let's just listen to it. Gotta watch the ad first, but essentially they went in and arrested him. By they, who's they though? They is the federal authorities. It looked like it was the I don't know. Let's see. Let's find out. Gotta wait for this ad to roll for some reason. Guess I could just read it. A former Dona Ana County magistrate judge is responding to allegations that he knows. There we go. Never mind.
That both Joel Cano and his wife Nancy were arrested after investigators were seen at the judge's home this afternoon. You're looking at video of when it happened. In that video, you can see Cano's wife in handcuffs. According to arrest documents, Cano and his wife have each been charged with one count of tampering with evidence.
One count of tampering with evidence. So anyway, let's continue. He's responding to allegations that he knowingly allowed members of a Venezuelan gang to live on his property, calling the claims, quote, sensationalism at the highest possible level. Joel Cano, who resigned from his position in March, is now permanently barred from serving as a judge in New Mexico. The controversy began in late February when Homeland Security investigations arrested 3 Venezuelan nationals, including Christian Ortega Lopez, during a raid on Cano's property. Federal investigators claimed the men were well-known members of the Tren de Aragua gang, a criminal organization based in Venezuela. All right, here we go. We got another video here. Probably have to let it. Yeah.
Mike Capel here, Patriots.
Like I said. So Joel and his wife, Nancy, were both arrested by ICE on Thursday evening, April 24th, and have been charged with one count of evidence tampering. According to the documents, the men have been living in a small guest house or casita on Cano's property. Ortega Lopez told investigators that they had initially performed handyman work for Cano and his wife before being allowed to move in after being evicted from their apartment. Here we go.
District judge now responding to accusations that he knowingly allowed members of a Venezuelan gang live on his property.
Jason McNabb has a letter where the former judge calls this sensationalism at the highest possible level.
Homeland Security investigators arrested this man, Christian Ortega Lopez, for being in the United States illegally since December of 2023 and for possessing a firearm. Court documents say he and 2 other men were living in a casita on the property of now former magistrate judge Joel Cano. In those documents, Lopez told investigators he and the other 2 men did handyman jobs for Cano and his wife. The couple eventually let them live there after they were evicted from their apartment. The arrest of all 3 men happened in late February during a raid of Cano's property, with Homeland Security investigators claiming the men were, quote, well-known members of the Venezuelan gang Tren de Aragua. Social media posts
I like how he said it.
From Lopez included in court documents showed Lopez holding guns with Cano present in some of the pictures. The Judicial Standards Commission launched an investigation into Cano shortly after the arrests, citing alleged willful misconduct. While not charged criminally, Cano resigned in March, which halted any disciplinary hearings. and now he can never serve as a judge in the state again. Cano sent this 23-page response letter to the New Mexico Supreme Court upon resignation, stating he was unaware of any criminal activity related to the three men, whom he refers to throughout the letter as the boys.
The boys. They're just the boys.
Possible, said Cano in the letter.
They're the boys. How can they do anything wrong? The boys.
Any association with Tren de Aragua was when I was informed of that by the agents on the day of the raid. He also questioned the validity of the investigation's claims, saying the three men had multiple interactions with the Border Patrol and HSI prior to the raid with no issues. I have three grandkids that I love dearly.
Okay.
Their ages.
Like millions of illegal criminal aliens had interactions with Homeland Security and Border Patrol. Like, that's the whole point of what's going on now. Like, and nothing happened. Like, catch and release, let him back in, give him a court date for 10 years in the future.
Are 15, 8, and 6. There is no way in the world that I would have allowed my grandkids to have any contact with the boys if I'd sensed danger.
The boys!
He was also under the impression that the men were not subject to removal, citing their immigration paperwork. The letter read, "Their papers stated in the upper right-hand corner, this person is not subject to removal."
They're all subject to removal. Show me these papers.
Also addressed the claim from JSC that he provided the men with firearms, including social media posts showing the family with the men at a shooting range.
He just provided them with firearms.
He wrote, quote,
okay, how come they're framing this? He just provided them with firearms. He's holding a rifle. If this were any other type of, let's say it's like a flip of the situation, if this was more of a right-leaning judge doing something with like a right something, they would have been framing it. He supplied him with assault rifles, assault weapons, and this is just firearms. Come on. It doesn't matter. It's just the framing kind of pissed me off, but come on. He's providing them with guns and they're trying to downplay it.
Take a single firearm to the range. I took no ammunition to the range either. My wife and I went only as spectators. To say that I allowed them access is false. Action 7 News found a cell phone number for the former judge in court documents. We wanted to see if he could tell us about the situation in his own words.
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail.
Good
Why
afternoon,
would he
Joel.
answer?
My name is Jason McNabb. I'm a reporter up here with KOAT Action 7 News in Albuquerque. We had to leave a voicemail. Give me a call back here as soon as you can. Thank you. Text message attempts have also been unsuccessful. Once again, it's important to point out that Cano and his wife have not been charged with any crimes. Jason McNabb, KOAT Action 7 News.
All right, so there you go. They're saying that they haven't been charged here. They're saying that they've been charged with the count of evidence tampering. In that other story, I mean, you could criticize the source if you want. I mean, InfoWars is good stuff. I mean, in the entertaining aspect as well as, take it for what you will. But apparently the weapons belong to the daughter, to Cano's daughter. And there was like a thing between them, like, that the judge was kind of like facilitating between this Ortega Lopez individual. All right, let's move on. This one's from KRQE 13. So this one is titled "Court Documents Reveal New Details in the Arrest of Former New Mexico Judge and His Wife." So we got some new details here, just kind of letting this ad queue up. So we'll just give it another second. So what do you guys think? Right now in New Mexico, they passed a law where non-citizens can become police officers, and that's in like every aspect in the state. Nothing federal, but state police and city police, sheriff's office, and what have you. So let me know what you guys think about that down below. And what do you think if non-citizens would have gone to perform this arrest on this judge, who was harboring non-citizens? How do you think that would have gone down?
We're learning more about the arrest of a former New Mexico judge and his wife, who are now in federal custody. They're accused of helping a suspected gang member living in their home hide evidence. News 13's Gabe Chavez details.
A now disbarred judge is on the other end of the law after he and his wife were taken into federal custody yesterday. Homeland Security arrested former Doña Ana County Magistrate Judge Joel Cano and his wife Nancy at their Las Cruces home. This comes after an alleged Venezuelan gang member has been staying in their home while being investigated by Homeland Security. Federal court documents show Christian Ortega Lopez was arrested in February by federal agents under suspicions of living in the country illegally and allegedly being involved with the Venezuelan gang Tren de Aragua. When he was taken into custody,
This guy said it a little better.
that Nancy maintained communication with Ortega Lopez and even tried to help him delete his Facebook account, something that held evidence that was needed in his criminal case.
Damn. So
Federal
these guys
documents
are
also
at least
show that
like
when
putting it out there. Like they were trying to cover something up for sure. Why would they be trying to do that?
Ortega Lopez was arrested, one of the phones he used was still in the home and may have had other incriminating evidence against him. Another search warrant was issued to find that missing phone back in March, but police say that Joel Cano admitted to destroying the phone and throwing away the pieces.
Yeah, dude, he
Kate
smashed it
Chavez,
with a
KRTV,
hammer.
News 13.
Cano is facing a tampering with evidence charge, and his wife is facing a conspiracy to tamper charge.
All right, so we got different charges from this news source. All right, this one's from KOB4. Former judge and wife arrested by federal agents. Of course, we got to let the ad roll real quick. NBC original. Let's see. We got Arrow from Arrow, and seems to be some sort of lawyer. And this is his partner that he doesn't really like. All right, let's go.
Well, today a former Las Cruces judge and his wife appeared in court, except on the other side of the law. The feds arrested Joel Cano and his wife Nancy yesterday in Las Cruces.
Cano.
And for at least the time being, they're being held in jail. This all started with accusations the judge was sharing his home with suspected Venezuelan gang members and also gave them access to guns. At least two of the alleged gang members even posted photos of themselves with Judge Cano and his family. They're now facing tampering with evidence
It's the
charges.
boys.
The state Supreme Court also barred the judge from ever sitting on the bench in our state again.
Alan, hopefully some nicer weather than what most of us were dealing with.
And then they roll to the weather. Yeah, so that's about it. They're busting these criminal aliens all over. People are arguing. Debates are hot right now about whether some people should be deported over others. And I want to know what everybody thinks. So leave a comment down below. Hit that thumbs up button. And make sure you are subscribed. And I don't know. My cousin works as a plumber, David. He's been on here, and he was texting me the other day, and he said that the drywall company that his company is working with to go build the hospital, they got raided, and they got a bunch of their guys picked up. I got a customer where I work. He was telling me that one of his guys got picked up by Homeland Security. He wasn't, you know, an illegal alien or anything, but he was trafficking fentanyl into the state. So they had, how did they do it? So they didn't know about him. He was kind of under the radar. They were watching other guys that he picked up from. That's how they knew about him. So anyway, good. I mean, do it up. No more fentanyl. Get it out of here. And yeah, we got to fix this problem. It's what a lot of people voted for. So these judges who are kind of trying to get in the way, I mean, no one's above the law. Am I right? Let's move on. So I'm a new father. My son just turned 6 months old today. So happy half birthday there, little guy. And so a lot of these stories about kids have kind of been catching my eye a lot more. And, you know, you definitely like notice things a lot more. So this is a crazy story. It's about home invasion, and let's just get into it because this one is pretty nuts. So here we go. Decatur mother protects kids from home invasion, share story.
It was probably the scariest thing that's ever happened in my whole entire life.
A mother of two in Decatur is sharing her story less than a week after her home was invaded and she was shot. Good evening. I'm Brendan Morano. Karina's off tonight. On Monday, Alexa Templar was forced to defend her family after armed intruders broke into her home. It happened in the area of Stone and Whitmer Streets in Decatur. The situation left her with 2 gunshot wounds and 2 men in jail. WCI 3's Jack Crum live in the newsroom. Jack, you sat down with her tonight. What'd she say?
Brandon, her partner was at work when...
Oh, gotta let it load. But anyway, so what was kind of going on? Her partner was at work and she heard some people coming into the house, like through the basement window.
The invasion happened early on Monday morning, meaning it was just Templar and her 2 children under the ages of 2. She says of the near 30 bullet holes in her home, 4 came from her, and she believes those 4 saved her children's lives.
In that moment, I can't panic. I have 2 daughters who need me in this moment and need me to protect them.
A scary situation unfolded on Monday in Decatur. 22-year-old mother of 2 Alexia Templar needed to defend her home against a pair of armed men. She says noises in her kitchen woke her up, and then she called her partner on FaceTime to inform him of the invaders.
He told me that I'm gonna have to protect myself. I need to grab the gun and I need to be ready to defend my home.
She had never held a gun prior to that moment.
As soon as I see them, I say to them,
You teach her how to use it,
I
bro.
have a gun, so get out of my house or I will shoot you. As soon as I said that, they started immediately firing at me, both the people.
In the exchange, 2 bullets hit Templar, while one of her children was in her arms. Soon after, as she was bleeding, her oldest daughter ran up to her.
So I put my kids in the closet and I shut the door and I'm screaming at them, pleading, please don't kill my kids. I have kids, please don't kill my kids. Please don't kill me, please.
The 3 suspects fled the house after the shootout. Soon after, Templar's partner took her to St. Mary's Hospital with non-life-threatening injuries.
Damn.
Thankfully, both of their children remained unharmed.
The bullets went through and through, so luckily there was no major blood vessels hit or like bone fragments found. So, I mean, I got lucky.
Later that same day, officials found one of the suspects with a bullet wound in his lower back, fired from
Tagged him.
Templar. She says the entire situation was not only terrifying, but violating.
I was not worried about if something were to happen to me, it would have been worth it because my kids would be safe. And that's all that had mattered to me in that moment.
Templar tells me that her family no longer feels safe in their home. The family
Yeah, how
forced
could
to
you?
be in a hotel since Monday. In the newsroom, I'm Jack Crum, WCI 3, your local news leader.
What a story. Thanks, Jack. Police say 2 men and a 16-year-old were arrested and charged for the invasion. 24-year-old Deontay Stone and 25-year-old Colton Clark and the unnamed 16-year-old rather, were all charged with attempted murder, home invasion, and aggravated battery with a firearm.
So what I also Jesus Christ, what I also read was that the guy who got shot in the back was saying that the 16-year-old, it was all his plan. He was like, I know this place that we could go, pretty much rob. So they're kind of trying to pin it on him, Here we go. Let's go to this story. This is from another local story that we have. We got to check out that ad. Yeah, we do. So here's one of the guys. These are the 2 adults that they apprehended. One of them has the bullet wound. I believe it's this guy here with the mug face. Pug face? That's what I meant. The pug face. What I want to say is I kind of wish, I definitely have made an effort to teach my wife how to use a firearm. So she is proficient, at least if she needs to shoot at home invaders who are trying to come through the door. I feel like if this lady was if this guy, her partner, as they say, I don't know if it's her husband or her boyfriend, had he taken her to the range once or twice and actually taught her how to competently manipulate and use a firearm, story might have been a little different. She might not have been injured at all. And also, she shouldn't be talking to him. She should just shoot first. You know, they're in her house. Anyway, let's see what we got here. This is another local source, I believe.
To a story we first brought you last night. 2 adults and a teenager in custody after police say they forced their way into a Decatur home.
A woman and her 2 young children were sleeping at the time. She says she woke up to the sound of shattering glass. WAND's Jacob
Like
Gordon.
stone cold.
Tonight, Jacob, what else have we learned from the sworn police statement?
Good evening, Sean and Alyssa. We now know who was the main person responsible. This all happened early Monday morning on South Stone Street in Decatur. WAND News talked to Alexa Templar, and she told us that she saw 2 people standing inside her bedroom. That's when she started shooting at those intruders to protect her, toddler, and her baby. Decatur police arrested Deontay Stone, Colton Clark, and a 16-year-old. They're facing charges of attempted murder and home evasion. In a sworn statement, we learned that Stone told police the 16-year-old boy had a plan to commit a burglary and split the proceeds. Stone says the trio went to Templar's home and broke in through the basement. Then they made their way into the bedroom. That's when Templar told them to get out. Stone says they was shot in the back. A teenager shot at the mother of 2. And we talked with her last night. Here's what she had to say about the exchange.
I shut the door and I grab my kids and I go to the closet and I'm yelling at them and I'm pleading, please, like, you know, I'm already shot. I have kids. Please don't kill my kids. My kids are my everything. So in that moment, I don't even care if I was to die. You know, in that moment, I didn't even care. I just wanted to make sure that my kids were unharmed.
Now, the sworn statement says police searched the home where the 16-year-old lives, and they found a PlayStation and a piece of luggage. Stone is facing a home invasion charge. Clark and the 16-year-old are facing several charges, including attempted murder. Stone and Clark were booked into the Macon County Jail. The teenager is currently
Quite
in
the
custody
pair,
at
man.
Peoria County Juvenile Detention Center. You can read more about the sworn statement on our website. That's WANDTV.com. In studio, Jacob Gordon, WAND News.
There you go. So shout out to the lady for defending her home and her kids. She did a good job. That's definitely a lesson in staying well regulated. She definitely could have prepped up some more, if you know what I mean. But, you know, shout out to them. They're alive. Unfortunately, these pieces of shit are still too, but at least they're in custody. Ooh, that's crazy. So all of that led me to kind of this last story here. Fair warning, this one's kind of hard to watch. It kind of makes me think like, what would I have done in this situation? So after we watch this, I want everybody to kind of leave a comment and let me know, like, what would you have done? For me, being a parent now, I think of a lot of things a lot differently. And that just kind of came like automatic or natural, like just the way I think about stuff, especially regarding my kid, definitely changes the way I prepare myself, I think, and act in some ways in public for sure. So let's check this out. Again, fair warning, this one is a little rough.
Now, a child brutally attacked by a woman at a public park while playing with some friends, and it was caught on camera. We have to warn you now, what you are about to see may be difficult to watch. All
right, I'm not monetized or anything on YouTube, so this kind of doesn't really affect me too much. In the future, though, with monetization, these crazy videos, there might be reserved for Rumble or X only, but again, here we go.
Katie Tursick spoke with the victim's mom about this attack.
11-year-old Liliana Deshawn is terrified of stepping foot again on this new Canton playground that's feet away
And
from
they really
her
just
home. After
throw it
Friday's
into you with
horrific
that
events,
transition,
she
don't
doesn't
they?
want to return. You gonna keep running? Police say 19-year-old Destiny Scott got into a fight with the young girl and repeatedly slammed her head into the playground slide, making her bleed and concussing her.
And the girl ran up behind me and she like grabbed me by my hair and something.
That wasn't a girl, that was a
Scott has been
behemoth.
charged with assault and disorderly conduct. She is set to appear in court on Tuesday morning. Meanwhile, Deshaun's mother, Paige, is outraged by the incident and hopes sharing what happened to her daughter will alert other parents about letting their kids hang out at that playground.
I feel like it's ridiculous, and the police aren't providing any protection for my child. And there should definitely be a lot more done about this than a misdemeanor assault and disorderly conduct.
While Scott was being detained, she told the child's mother she hoped the little girl would die, and the mother lunged for her daughter's attacker. Mom was charged with obstructing official business and disorderly conduct.
Destiny is 200.
Yeah, fuck it. Charge the mom. Go ahead, charge the mom. Because that piece of shit tried to kill her daughter? Dude, that lady outweighed that daughter by like 450 pounds for sure. Come on. Of course. Yeah, just arrest the victim.
Business and disorderly conduct.
Destiny is 270 pounds. She is 19 years old. My daughter is 110 pounds. She could have killed her.
A vicious attack on a child in a place where they are supposed to feel safe and play like a kid.
There is a police surveillance camera that sits here at the park, but police tell me at the time of the incident, that camera was facing the opposite direction.
Of course.
In Canton, Kate Tursek, 19 News.
Yeah, it was just flipped the other way. So, of course, cops couldn't see anything. Good thing somebody decided to take a cell phone video. So anyway, fuck that lady. She's a piece of shit. She should be definitely doing more time. See, I have a couple of questions about this story because it's a little odd. So, well, not really. It's not odd. The only thing that's odd to me is why the parents weren't really watching, having a closer eye on the kid. I think the park was like right near the house and the girl's 11. So when I was 11, I was definitely off on my own during the day, going to the park that was close to the house. And so, anything crazy like this could have happened. I get that. If I was there though, I would have taken the actions of this Jabba the Hutt looking creature. Again, here we go. This lady here. I would have taken her actions as a serious threat of bodily harm or injury to my child, and I probably would have started laying the lead down range. So she got lucky. She got lucky for sure. And to the cops who arrested the mom, you guys suck. Fuck you. And I would have done the same thing as her. I'm kind of a little more of a patient man. I probably would have planned out my vengeance a little bit more. So, wait for her to get out of jail, find out where she works and lives and that kind of stuff. But anyway, that's just me. And I'm kind of at the point now where it's like, yeah, I'm going to do anything I can to protect my kid. Anyway, that's where we are. I'm a new parent. I got new worries and I kind of just wanted to bring that up a little bit. It's wild out there, man. Too bad that little girl didn't, what could she do? This lady outweighed her. She was slamming her head. You saw the video. It was pretty hard to watch. And nobody's kid deserves that no matter what she did. I mean, it doesn't matter. Anyway, guys, let's all make sure that you are let me get it here. Following me everywhere. Make sure you click on the link tree. I need to remember to put that in the description, and follow me everywhere at Deep South EDC. You can leave a channel donation if you like. Make sure you following me on Rumble. We got that. Whoops, my channel. Here we go. Deep South EDC Rumble channel. I'm trying to keep everything current there. They stopped doing the auto uploads from YouTube, so I have to push 2 buttons now. And make sure you guys are following me on X, where we are definitely bringing the spice. So as always, hit me up on YouTube. Make sure you leave a like on the video. And as always, it's a crazy one out there. So remember to stay well regulated. We'll catch you on the next one. Peace.